Well, here is the deal of the century. Got a buddy, and he wanted to get rid of some of his stuff at his property. And I told him we don't have a lot of money, but come down and see what he's got to offer. And he wasn't really selling anything. It was just me asking, and I got a great deal on all this stuff. The thing is he's not really a machinist, but he was in a house with another person. That person passed away, and so there was a lot of tools left over. Now this guy uses tools on his trade, and he's probably the best metal stud framer, home builder, woodworker, whatever extraordinaire there is. That's the guy Troy, the guy that helped me pretty much virtually install that shed in the backyard. And so went over his house, a couple bucks, and not really trying to buy anything. I was just coming out there to check out some scrap wood and materials and get some hardware, some screws and stuff for Damien. Because this guy every once in a while comes across some extra screws in his line of work. So anyway, we're going through the shed, we're going through his garage, and there's a lot of tools that he does not use at all. So I found this, all these drill bits were in here, in this red container. And there was bits of metal and stuff, you know, and all kinds of crazy tools. I don't even know what they go to or what they are used for. But I plan on getting a drill doctor or some other type of machine to sharpen these drill bits. A lot of them are brand new, they're just a little rusty. And some have quite a bit of wear on them. And you can see where some of these have been resharpened. Kind of hard to see that one there. Alright, about 2 seconds I'm going to give it up. Well, anyway, a lot of these drills are still in really good shape. So I plan on finding a drill doctor if I can find one online. If any of you guys have a tip on a drill doctor, let me know, because I'd like to pick it up. I'd like to see if I can get a used one, because I don't know if it's really worth it to get a new one. Anyway, I got a ton of drills here. Really excited about this. All different shapes, all different sizes. Also got this little drill caddy, drill index. It's got some drills in there, so I'm sure I have a full set. Hopefully there's some good carbide tips in there. Something that I can use. I got these little Harbor Freight. Not sure what company it is, but pretty much little Harbor Freight brands. There it is, Central Pneumatic. Little angle die grinders, which always come in handy. I've gone through one or two of those already. There's a little polishing wheel setup on that one, and a large one here. I'm not sure if my machine will push enough air to run this, but it's definitely worth a shot, and for what I paid for this, it's an exceptionally good deal. I actually got an air drill, which is pretty cool. Small chuck on it, but that's okay. This will be great for, you know, whatever project I have to work on. In this box here, coated in non-woven abrasive specialties, there's a whole box of this. And I already have the die grinder set up. Let's see. Right there. And it takes the same type of tip as this. So that's going to really come in handy. And these are all sanding wheels. I've actually got some brand new cutting wheels on here too for metal. So that's pretty neat. Then there's some weird specialty metal tools. Like this one here, some kind of reamer. This one here says number 5 on it. Looks just like a flathead screwdriver, but I'm sure it does more than that. Chisels. That's pretty slick. Don't know what that is. maybe to make specific type of holes for blacksmithing work. I don't know. Maybe somebody can tell me what this tool is here. G211 PT tool. I don't know. Also have this here, pretty cool. It's a Proto 9525. I'm assuming it's like a step-up drill bit. Looks like a little Nazi sign right there, a little swastika. Like I said, some of these tools are pretty old, and I have no clue what purpose they serve. But there was a lot of crazy little stuff in here that I got. Tap and die set. There's a brand new tap. I'm assuming that is for welding, because it has like lead melted in the handle here, maybe to reduce some heat. So I'm assuming that's maybe some kind of trowel to smooth out a weld or something. You guys probably know exactly what that is. Snap-on feeler gauge. I'm assuming that's what they call these. Still, really old school one. It's missing one or two of the prongs. It's pretty rusty. I don't know if Snap-on has like a lifetime warranty. Imagine taking this to a Snap-on dealer. Hey, I need a new feeler gauge. This is 60 years old. Don't know. It's always good to have a nice, solid metal awl. Got this huge chunk of steel right here that I can use to cool off welds. It'll absorb a lot of the heat. Depending on what I'm using it on, I can also use it as, you know, a weight. I can also use it, you know, with a mallet to beat something, but it has a pretty flat surface, so I'm going to check that out. Got one of these impact drivers. Pretty neat. A sweet little vise that I can use to work on gun parts. I got several of these wheel attachments. Awesome little rat tail file. These are really nice when I work on weapons. The old school ones just work way better than the new Harbor Freight made in China stuff. I just always see these tools are much better. You know, bear pliers, some generic tools. Don't have a clue what the heck this thing is. Maybe it goes some kind of gear puller or something, who knows. Got some little sanding, mouse pads. I got a whole bunch of metal cutting wheels, 10, 12, 14 inches, I think, for pipe, you know, cutting metal pipe or whatever. On top of that, I have this cool little DeWalt container to hold your saw blades. And Troy gave me a couple brand new saw blades in there, so that's pretty slick. Pickle fork, we used to call them, to separate upper and lower ball joints. Pretty cool automotive working tools. Sweet little tiny old school Craftsman little breaker bar, pretty neat. Cold heat, I don't know if you guys ever seen these things. It's actually a soldering gun with a brand new tip. Looks like possibly it's never been used, and apparently you turn them on, you solder something with it, and instantly you can touch it. Instantly turns cold, so that's awesome. Got this right here, which I think is pretty awesome. I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to work this. This is a solenoid voltage tester, ET50. Since I work on automotive stuff a lot, there's times you need to check a fuel injector or a solenoid or something that's not firing properly. So that's my guess what this is, and I'll check that out. It does have the voltage right here on top, but I don't know what that tool is used for yet, so I have to do a little bit of research, but I think that tool will be valuable. Besides that, I got this awesome, you can see the size of my hand, and I have big hands. See this awesome clamp. I was going to pick some up like this on Craigslist, and the guy wanted 60 bucks a piece. Don't know if they're worth that much, but I needed a large clamp for some welding project, and now I have one. So that's freaking awesome. Pretty excited about that. Two more things I need to show you here. Set this on the pile. I'm looking for a router for a little while, but can't really afford it. Here's an old school 1 horsepower router. It does work. Fixed base, pretty awesome. And it's an old Sears Craftsman, so the thing will probably run forever. And last but not least, these two things. I have to learn how to use this because I don't know what the heck it is. I'm assuming it just checks electricity, and like you can set it on something like this, wrap it around the wire. It'll tell you how many volts or amps or whatever's going through a different wire. And it's just really neat, old school. I've never seen anything like this. Amp probe, yeah, pretty neat. And it comes with a case, so you got to figure out how to use that thing. Another thing, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it does resemble some kind of electronic tester. And the last thing, I have no freaking clue what it is. This looks like it's some kind of cutter, like a reamer. Like, let's say that hole right there. Let's say you wanted to ream, lap lathe, whatever you want to call it, metal or steel, that you would use this to cut a recessed hole. That's what it looks like. Then you see this crazy looking carbide tip, some kind of scraper. And then these things go into the screwdriver. You just pull down this collar, collet, whatever. And you stick these inside, and it's adjustable so you can get distance. And they have these crazy little tips that go inside it. That's a Titan, some kind of specialty valve spring or something. Don't have a clue. I have never seen anything like this tool. This little tool kit. So that's really neat. And I'm sure there's a whole bunch of pieces that are missing. So I have to go back out to his property and see if I can find those pieces if possible. I just wish I knew what I was looking for. But yeah, I got an incredible deal. I got all this stuff. Yeah, I'm kind of embarrassed to even say how much I got it for, but it was an incredible deal. And Troy's my friend. I was definitely not trying to rip him off. He just had some tools he had zero use for. So I offered him a little bit of money, and he accepted it. So, pretty awesome.